Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway and the O'Reilly 200 for the Camping World Truck Series. Kyle Busch trying to make it 3 in a row from the world's fastest half mile. The laps continue to wind down here. What a beautiful sight of this racing facility and a great crowd on hand.
I'm going to really like to see what Matt Crafton is able to do with Kyle Busch. It's the first time he's going to be able to start up on the front row running in the second spot.
And you know what I really like? The guy that's going to restart in third and fourth. You're going to bring Johnny Sauter and Ron Hornaday into this mix as well. They double these things up with inside of 10 to go. These guys have got to push the button. I'm going to see what Johnny Sauter is able to do in that outside lane following Kyle Busch on this restart.
Aaron's lucky dog goes to Max Pappas. He gets a lap back, so he'll be the 16th truck on the lead lap. Now, you mentioned Hornaday and Sauter running side by side back there in that second row. Those two run side by side real well together, don't they?
Well, they've made it interesting as they tried to complete laps side by side. One of the best finishes we've ever had.
Kansas.
It was Kansas. And the
synchronized spinning.
It came with about 5 or 6 to go, but it was the most exciting race for the lead that I think we've ever seen in the Truck Series. Those guys did something I've never seen before. Just smoke flying, tires sliding.
Yeah, that piece of metal you saw on the racetrack, that flew off right there of Elliott Sadler's truck.
It's a piece of that brake rotor from the right front.
He has brakes, Elliott's reported to his crew. They're just the rear brakes, which safety-wise, that's fine. If there's an accident, he can get stopped because he does have brakes. But it's going to be really hard to be competitive without any front brakes. You got to be really careful.
Let's get you caught up on what's happened in our race recap. Again, Kyle Busch won the pole, but he didn't get a start up front. He had to go to the back because of changes that put Elliott Sadler up front.
Lap number 8, Brad Keselowski gets loose underneath Hornaday. Does a little half spin there, but he flattens the tire. When he did it, he had to come to pit road, lose a couple laps.
Lap 23 wide, doesn't work out for Donnie Lee in the 07 or the 3 of Austin Dillon as he gets into that mess.
Austin Dillon's had a rough night and it started right there. Check this crash out. Jennifer Jo Cobb just trying to survive here. Kyle Busch on fresh tires, wanting to get to the front. He gets a hold of Jennifer off turn 4 and around she goes.
She does a nice job making any contact with the inside wall. Her contact's going to come later. Here's lap number 43. Dennis Setzer racing with Clay Greenfield. He makes contact with the left rear corner, turns him around. Austin Dillon's going to come along here and make a little bit of contact with his left front.
Lap 51. We're seeing a theme here. Now we're on board with the 33. Hornaday, around he goes.
You're right, a theme, Rick. A lot of people running into each other and spinning out. And that's what you get at a tight half mile like Bristol Motor Speedway. The world's fastest half mile. When things go bad, sometimes they go bad in big ways.
James Buescher involved in this one when Jennifer Jo Cobb came back down the racetrack.
Here's lap number 163. These guys battling for the second position. Elliott Sadler gets in the back of Timothy Peters. Timothy comes out in the worst. Well, actually, Timothy's still on the lead lap. Where right now, Elliott Sadler's being shown 2 laps down because of this.
His right front tire blew getting into turn 3 again this time. Truck into the outside wall, broke a right front brake rotor. So he's wounded as he's trying just to limp to the finish. You can see the team there on pit road. We have 8 laps to go, coming to 7 to go, and the caution is still out. So, Adam, what happened to the 13? Johnny Sauter was up in that 4th spot. Now he's had trouble.
Not good, Michael. He's been very consistent lately. Remember, they last pitted lap 32. Their only pit stop of the night. He ran out of fuel, so they had to come down the pit lane. Tough break for him, and he'll take a hit in the points again as Bodine is running 9th. Fred?
Adam, the 29 truck, doesn't care anything about points. They came here to win tonight. So with less than 10 to go, Brad Keselowski came to the pits, put on 4 fresh tires. He's got stickers. We haven't seen it work too much tonight, but remember, everybody else is running on really old tires. Keep your eye on number 29.
Check out these guys trying to sort out where they're going to restart. They have a difference of opinion there, and they're going to make it 4 wide trying to figure it out.
And they're crashing. They're crashing back there. And guys, remember, Johnny Sauter running out of fuel. He pitted the exact same lap that our leader, Kyle Busch, did.
And these banks, Phil, these high banks at Bristol, especially under caution.
Remember Dover.
The fuel can get away from the pickup. You could see a guy bobble on the restart here, not get his engine up to speed, and plus, just trying to make it to the finish on a little bit of gas.
Kyle Busch back into the throttle. Green flag back in the air. Matt Crafton on his inside trying to make a move. We see the 33 of Hornaday making it 3 wide going down the back stretch.
Crafton has a problem. He may be out of fuel, or at least it may have stumbled.
I think his motor stumbled. That's what we talked about on this restart. He loses his spot to Hornaday.
Kyle Busch is loving all the commotion going on behind him.
He's not breathing easy, though. Remember, he ran out of fuel at Dover. He was one of those trucks at Dover that ran out of fuel late.
Yeah, there's still 5 to go, so I know he's holding his breath watching these guys struggle for fuel late in the going.
Matt Crafton on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Skinner, trying to take that position away from him.
Well, we're not talking about Eric Almirola just a few laps ago running 8th and not really able to make any ground up on top of 9. He's running 2nd right now, Rick.
And Skinner really battling hard with Matt Crafton. Now Hornaday looks to the inside of that 51. While out front, Kyle Busch running in front of Almirola and Hornaday. Busch with almost a 2nd lead now, as this time when he comes by the stripe. 2 laps of racing to go.
2nd through 5th, they can't work it out side by side. Oh, inside. What a great
81
run.
of David Starr, and there's more contact. Ken Schrader gets into him. Dennis Setzer goes around. The 4 of Ricky Carmichael involved.
And remember the fuel situation. Now we're going to go overtime. We know Kyle Busch has to be low on fuel.
Brett Raymer in the 85 able to avoid Ken Schrader.
That's a hard hit for Kenny Schrader. David Starr came from down on the bottom of the racetrack, and Schrader drilled him.
There's Starr.
A couple of guys having some really solid runs. David Starr had been up the top 10, top 5. Kenny Schrader had made his way to just inside the top 10.
Michael, they're going to red flag this race, and that's probably the best thing that you could ever hope for Kyle Busch, because he's not going to run around here more laps and run out of fuel.
But still, it's a concern, Rick. You know, you think about these restarts and the fact that the trucks are up on those banks and the fuel's running away from the pickup. So I'm concerned for Kyle Busch, as I'm sure he is as well.
Schrader's out of his truck, being helped out of his truck now.
Schrader's a tough guy. He's raced all over the world, but he's hurting right now.
See, David Starr was on the inside of Justin Lofton, it looked like.
Yep.
They make contact. Kenny Schrader comes along after David bounced off the inside wall, was headed back to the outside wall.
That was
Miguel Paludo.
Paludo got into the 92 of Dennis Setzer.
And then Ricky Carmichael came along and got a part of that wreck as well.
So a lot of damage.
See, here comes Kenny.
Out.
I mean, that's just that's as fast as you're going right there, Phil.
Yeah.
He dove into turn. Wow, look at the 17 truck just slipped through the middle of that. He dove down into turn 1 as fast as he could be going, and he made hard contact with David Starr.
Yeah, upwards of 130 or 40 miles an hour as they entered that corner. Here's real time. Here's David. He hits the inside wall. Now he heads to the outside. Kenny comes by, as you mentioned. He's in the corner absolutely as hard as he can get in the corner. He'd already committed.
Sparks flying.
Kenny has a little limp there.
A little limp, getting out of his truck, looking at the damage. Well, at least he's got a smile.
That's Kenny Schrader. He's smiling.
Yeah, he's smiling.
Even though he's in some pain, obviously.
Man, that hurt.
It's like red flag condition for this race. Now, you guys talked about having to park on a little bit of a bank. The good thing is it's about maybe at the most 9 degrees.
Wow, this is a good look at it. You see David Starr makes some contact with another truck, and look at the angles.
Yeah.
Schrader had 2 big hits there, Phil. One into the side of Starr, and then the other as he ricocheted into that outside wall.
Now let's go trackside to Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. We're sitting here watching TV, and I'm with Eric Phillips, crew chief for Kyle Busch, and just wondering how tight it is. I heard Kyle say, I don't think we're going to make it. You encouraged him and said we're going to be okay, but you were 3/4 of a lap away from the white flag.
Yeah, he just asked if he thought, if we could make it there. I think we're all right. The worst part about this place is the banking. I think we got enough gas. It's just if it picks it up with the banking at this place. But all these guys on this Toyota Tundra done a great job tonight. Had a little mishap in qualifying, but we've been fast all weekend, so see what we got.
How nervous are you really? Come on, give me the truth.
After that deal at Dover, I'm really nervous.
Okay, so that's the truth, guys. Eric Phillips sweating it out down here, trying to get another win for KB.
As we mentioned, at Dover, Kyle Busch was in front, looked as though he was going to run away with it, and problems on the restart allowed Eric Almirola to go by him.
And we're going
his first win.
We're going overtime, Rick.
We are going overtime in the Camping World Truck Series. This is the reason for our 12th and record-tying caution. We're under a red flag condition. Can Kyle Busch make it? The fuel is the question now. We know he's got a strong truck, but does he have enough fuel to make it?